If I'm being completely honest, that's exactly one of the reasons why I worked so hard on my marriage, because I knew it was a swamp out there and I just wasn't ready for it. But in the end, I would rather tackle the swamp full of snakes and gators and all the other things than be married and live the rest of my life in a situation where I'm not loved properly, where I'm treated like a piece of meat only there for someone else's pleasure, where I question my worth, and where ultimately I'm not fulfilled.
2 seconds later.
Single life has been serving me this season. And that's all right. But we just gotta hang in there. We gotta hang in there. Good things are to come. Yes, I firmly believe that. Good things are to come. We just can't rush them.
That is not going to happen.
Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This will be a quick one because after this I have to move to a new pyramid. So come around tomorrow and see my new place, guys. Now let's get started.
So after my divorce, I got my very first sugar baby, and I was with him for a year. He didn't treat me very right. While I was paying him, he was seeing other girls on the side, which is a total no-no, especially for a sugar mama like me. So I cut him loose. I waited a couple months, went on a dating website called Bumble, and then that's when I found Dano the Grateful, who is now my sugar baby and has been for 3 years.
Yeah, so this previous woman says that she was a sugar mama, yet at the same time, she was just Chad's second dish, right? One of Chad's many plan Bs. Not necessarily a single mother, but you go, girl.
Colton, I can't even disagree with you. And if I'm being completely honest, that's exactly one of the reasons why I worked so hard on my marriage, because I knew it was a swamp out there and I just wasn't ready for it. But in the end, I would rather tackle the swamp full of snakes and gators and all the other things than be married and live the rest of my life in a situation where I'm not loved properly, where I'm treated like a piece of meat only there for someone else's pleasure, where I question my worth, and where ultimately I'm not fulfilled.
So this woman, right, didn't want to break off her marriage because she realized the dating situation out there and found out that it's quite convenient to have a walk-in ATM machine as a husband, you know, to be provided for. But in the end, or in other words, when the situation was better and she felt like she was ready to do it, she ended up divorcing him anyway, right? Really immoral behavior, you know, just teaching all the kids out there that, hey, life is all about you. You know, when you're in a marriage, it's all about you. And if now you don't feel ready to break off the marriage, don't worry, you can do it again when you feel like it, you know? So again, just love never part of the equation, right? As we always mention, as is in most of the cases with these narcissistic women. And guys, I have to say, before we continue with this hag, a lot of you guys in the comments, you know, elderly men, well, not elderly, you know, up in age, I'd say, who are married or single, they just leave comments saying, Hiran, I'm so glad, I'm so happy, I'm not dating anymore. I'm so glad I'm out of it, man. And look, what can I say? It's hell out there, right? I mean, for guys, women still have all the options, but for guys, it's absolutely horrendous. And a lot of men are just, you know, jumping out of their seats, you know, being happy that they no longer have to go through this. So, you know, good luck to all the people who are still trying to date. But back to this witch right here. It looks like a witch as well. Maybe dressed up for Halloween, you know, special video, guys. But for real, like, she thinks that, you know, she only thinks about herself, and she thinks that this, you know, is the best choice to divorce because she doesn't feel loved, and, you know, all the unspecific bullcrap nonsense. that just boils down to her being insecure and not being stable and, you know, not being able to go through problems, she's still making the wrong choice. Even if we're talking strictly about her, you still made the wrong choice to go back to dating, because no one at that age will take you seriously. Like, most of your hair is already white. You know what I'm talking about? Nobody's going to treat you seriously. Nobody's going to give a flying crap about you. And I'm sure that your man actually, you know, loved you way more than you will realize. You know, but these women, guys, they just never feel good with anything. You can give them the best boyfriend out there. They will never feel good.
And I'm absolutely a couple kind of person. Like, I love being with somebody. I really do. Single life is a good life, however, it's not.
Going back to what you said, that doesn't mean that you're a couples person. Just because you feel good when somebody provides for you, you know, and life is on easy mode, that doesn't mean you're a couples person. That just means you're an a-hole, and a self-absorbed a-hole. That's what you are. It's not being a couples person. A couples person is someone who works to keep the couple, not someone who just strictly enjoys it and benefits out of it like a parasite.
Ultimately, the life that's going to bring me happiness and joy. But I ain't gonna lie, single life has been serving me this season, and that's all right. But we just gotta hang in there. We gotta hang in there. Good things are to come. Yes, I firmly believe that. Good things are to come.
Yeah, guys, she's already 60, but don't worry. Before 80, good things are gonna come. You know, I'm sure that Prince Charming, the man of her dreams, is going to come in the next 20 years.
We just can't rush him.
Call me crazy if you want, but I've never liked store-bought pets.
Susie, you are so crazy. Anyways, this summer I went on a date.
I don't know what this is, but I already don't want to watch it. But anyway, guys.
With a married man. And I know what you're thinking, why would you do that? Not on purpose, okay? I showed up to our date, it was at a brewery, he had a wedding ring on. And at this point, I'm thinking, there's no way this is happening to me. I just got divorced like 2 days ago from my husband that had been cheating on me for the past 2 years. So, Sierra, you definitely called him out right then and there? No, absolutely not. Because at that point, I realized this is probably not even his real name. Who knows if he even has a job that he told me that he has? Who knows if he lives where he told me that he lives? So, as painful as that date was, I stuck it out and I got intel. I got all the information that I needed. He was wearing a shirt that we both played the same sport. I was like, oh my God, do you coach there? And he said, no, my college coach owns it and runs it. And I was like, oh my God, said man here. I was like, I know him. So now I have the ability to look up where he went to school. And then I asked him, I was like, how old are you again? And then he told me. I was like, okay, so you were probably like in school at this time. And he confirmed it. And then I asked him, I was like, oh, well, what position do you play? Because fake name, gotta look at a roster. At this point, he's taken off his wedding ring underneath the table, but the tan line, still there. So I was like, yeah, this man's definitely married, and he's not supposed to be here. Now, at the end of the date, this is where I avoided him walking me to my car because I didn't want him to be like, oh my God, I had such a fun time. Let's do this again, blah, 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 blah. I was like, I'm just going to stay here for lunch. I'm hungry because we only got drinks. So said goodbye. And that's when I go to work. I go to the college coach's Facebook page because I'm friends with him. I scroll all the way down in his pictures to the year that I would need, found the school that he was working at, and then put that into Google, looked it up. The team doesn't exist anymore. There are no archives. So what do I do next? I try a different year and I just like fingers crossed, hope something pops up. You know what I find? A random article with a stats sheet. And I knew what position he played, so I knew which one would have like the most amount of stats. I don't know how to explain without exposing the sport that I play. But I was like, whoever has the most amount of this is gonna be him. And I found a name, put it into Facebook. Lo and behold, I find the man. His profile picture that he posted 3 days ago was him at his wedding, and he got married 1 month prior. 1 month prior. Then he messaged me after our date. Even though I had mentioned that I was divorced because my husband was cheating on me, he still had the audacity to message me and say, I had such a fun time, let's meet up again, blah, 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 blah. You wanna know what I say back? He gave me a fake name. So I just said, question for you. How long have you been married? Real name. Immediate response, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have gotten you involved in this. I'm just gonna delete all this right now. Absolutely the no, you are not. I was like, you need to tell your wife and you need to prove to me that you told your wife. So I gave him time to tell her, because having been on the other side of it, it's much better to hear the story from your cheating spouse. As hard as it is to hear it in general, it's best to hear it from them, from the betrayed side. So I let him do that, and then I called her. I had some questions for her to answer, so I knew it was her, and it was one of the worst conversations I've ever had. But yeah, Susie, you are crazy.
Yeah, guys. Okay, just wait. So I pull out this right here. Okay, here is the medal that I'm gonna send this woman for being the best detective in the world, right? And I have another medal for her for the best made-up story in the world. No, but for, being for real now, I don't know if this story is made up. I mean, it sounds like it, right? I mean, even if the guy was willing to cheat, are you really that stupid and that dumb to go on a date with your, with your ring on it? But, let's say that maybe a stupid guy like this exists. Let's say that this guy really wanted to cheat 1 month after the, the wedding, like going back from the honeymoon, he was already cheating. I don't know, could be. I mean, it sounds extremely dumb and made up, but it could be, let's give the benefit of the doubt that this man exists and decided to do that for any reason, and they're not, a couple of swingers or whatever, the woman doesn't know. Yeah, let's say that this douchebag exists, and there are, some bad men out there who don't value, their marriage, who don't obey their vows, who are dishonest and scum, yeah, right? Men like this exists. And, sorry, madam, for your marriage. Sorry that he cheated, etc. But if this is going to sort of prove a point or something, I don't know if this TikTok is just to, ramble, just to tell the story. But it certainly, it doesn't make the point. The point doesn't stand that, look at dating, right? I had a man that cheated on me. Now I go on a date and I had and I have another man who's a cheater. Yeah, men who are cheaters exist and have always existed and will continue to exist, but you can't tell me that most men are this way, right? Most men do not cheat going back from the honeymoon. Most men, in fact, don't want to ever cheat because they value their family. And, you as a woman, you have the awesome ability to pick which type of man you want to be with, And yes, again, sometimes men are douchebags and they do a 180 on their personality, or, they've been lying all along, but not the majority, right? The majority of men are good men who want to keep a family and build and, value their children, value their wife, etc. So, not trying to be idealistic here, but talking just statistically, you can avoid this, I'd rather say, small subtract of men that are, bad people, and you can go for the good ones. But guys, what do you think about that? What do you think about the whole picture? We'll leave this video right here. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll be happy to see you next time. Have a good one.